Rick Sanchez has outsmarted the Galactic Federation, conquered the Citadel of Ricks, and literally killed a god. Morty has survived Purge Planet, Anatomy Park, and being Cronenberg. These guys make impossible escapes look easy. But what happens when you strip away everything that makes them unstoppable? No portal gun, no gadgets, no sci-fi tricks. Just childhood games where one wrong move means a bullet to the brain. 30 multiverse contestants, 6 deadly games, 1 winner. But who's the winner and who will die first? Let's find out who really has what it takes when the games begin with red light, green light. The Smith family wakes up in teal tracksuits among hundreds of multiverse randos. No portal guns, no tricks. The guards took all of Rick's toys. Game 1, red light, green light. The giant killer doll's head swivels. Green light, Morty and Summer sprint forward in panic. Red light, Jerry freezes, almost. His lip quivers. Pew! A sniper blows Jerry's brains out mid-whimper. Anyone shocked? Didn't think so. Chaos erupts as players panic and get mowed down. But Rick, he saunters along and then stands stock still on cue. The man's a statue when he needs to be. Morty nearly eats dirt when a tentacled alien trips him, but he steadies himself with a yelp. Summer power walks, eyes on the prize. By the final green light, over half the field is slaughtered. In the last seconds, Morty even dashes back to grab a limping Mr. Poopy Butthole, dragging his old friend across the finish line just in time. Round 1 over. Rick flicks Jerry Gore off his shoulder with a belch. That was just the warm-up. Game 2 is a deadly dessert. Honeycomb carving. Each player gets a sugar cookie with a shape, cut it out intact, or eat a bullet. Beth actually laughs. She's a horse surgeon, and carving is literally her day job. She gets the dreaded umbrella shape and still slices it out perfectly with scalpel-like precision. Morty lucks out with a simple triangle and carefully traces it, tongue out in concentration. Summer picks a star and attacks it with overconfidence, until a crack nearly ruins her. Now she's sweating bullets, whispering, oh crap, with each careful poke. Rick, ever the genius, doesn't even bother with the needle. He starts licking his honeycomb. Yes, full-on slobber mode. It's gross, but it works. The candy dissolves just enough for him to pop the shape out intact. Show off. Around them, less lucky players are cracking under pressure and cracking their candy. A hapless Gromflemite shatters his cookie. Blam, instant elimination. One guy tries a lighter to cheat, the guards promptly ventilate him. With seconds left, Summer furiously licks her candy and pries out her star just before the timer. She collapses, swearing off sugar forever. Morty finishes with time to spare and helps a trembling Mr. Poopy Butthole hold up his perfectly carved circle. They survive. 2 games down, and the Smith clan is miraculously intact, minus Jerry Salsa. But the next round will change that fast. Game 3 is a 5-player relay race across a booby-trapped course. Teams of 5 race, losing team gets, well, eliminated. Rick captains a crew with Morty, Beth, Squanchy, and Gearhead. Rick mostly picks Gearhead as expendable bait. Another team has Summer paired with the shifty Tammy and some random aliens. Not ideal. Go! Morty leads Team Rick, scrambling up a rope wall with surprising agility. All that running from monsters is paying off. He tags in Gearhead, whose gear-filled limbs turn out to be great for dodging swinging axes. Gearhead twirls through hurdles like a steampunk ballerina and hands off to Beth. Dr. Smith vaults over gaps and slides under barbed wire, steady as an ER surgeon. She passes the baton to Rick, who maybe cheats a little. He whips out a mini jet boot from who knows where and blasts over a spike pit, cackling as he crash lands on the other side. Finally, Squanchy takes the baton for the anchor leg, and oh boy, he squanches out. Squanchy chugs a secret party fuel vial and hulks into a rabid, muscle-bound cat beast. He barrels through the course on all fours, roaring. Team Rick crosses the finish line first. Birdperson's squad finishes their heat in the middle of the pack, his zen-like focus guiding them safely through the course. Across the way, Team Summer isn't so lucky, they're dead last. Summer puts up a fight, but Tammy literally kneecaps one of her own teammates to try to lighten the load. Ruthless! It doesn't save them. Gunfire erupts as the losing team is executed on the spot. Summer Smith goes down, along with whoever was unlucky enough to be on that team. Morty watches in horror as his sister and others are gunned down like target practice. Victory has never tasted so bitter. Team Rick survives, but at a cost, and the bloodbath isn't over. The game masters aren't done trimming the fat. Night falls in the dormitory, and the remaining players get a cruel directive. Only 8 of you will advance. There are more than 8 left, which means it's purge o'clock. Rick, Morty, Beth, Squanchy, Gearhead, Mr. Poopy Butthole, Evil Morty, yup, Eye Patch Morty is here. Lurking in the back, Tammy and a couple of aliens eye each other nervously. Tensions snap. Tammy strikes first. Of course she does. She sidles up to the ever-serene Birdperson. Did we mention Birdperson made it this far? He did, quietly excelling. And Shink, she drives a hidden knife into his back without warning. Gotta secure my slot, she chirps as her former friend collapses. Morty yells in shock. Birdperson, one of their strongest allies, is down just like that. All hell breaks loose. Gearhead lunges at Tammy in fury, but Evil Morty is faster. He loops a garrote wire around Gearhead's neck from behind and pulls tight. A sickening snap and Gearhead drops to the floor like a busted clock. In a span of seconds, 2 players are dead. Rick just raises his eyebrows, even he's impressed by the cold efficiency. Morty and Beth are horrified, clinging to each other. Squanchy's tail bristles, ready to pounce on anyone who comes close. But before the free-for-all can continue, the loudspeaker blares, "Contestants eliminated, 8 remaining, stop." Just like that, it's over. Tammy wipes Birdperson's blood off her hands, shooting a smug grin. Evil Morty straightens his collar, utterly unfazed. The surviving 8 stagger away from the carnage. Morty locks eyes with Evil Morty and feels a chill. This Morty just murdered 2 people without blinking. Rick cracks his knuckles. The games will only get deadlier from here, and they're now filled with nothing but the most dangerous players. Round 4 is a curveball, hide and seek in a giant maze. The Seekers, a pack of lethal robo-dogs led by Morty's old super intelligent pup Snuffles, now called Snowball, complete with a mech suit and a grudge. "You left me, Morty. Now you'll pay." Snowball growls over the PA. When the round starts, the 8 contestants scatter into hiding. Rick rigs up a quick cloaking device and blends against a wall. Morty and Beth cram together behind a debris pile, Morty holding his breath. Squanchy half buries himself in a ball pit. Tammy perches atop a metal shelf, gun drawn. Evil Morty? He purposely sets off a distant alarm to lure the robo-dogs away from him. Clever little devil. The mechanical hounds prowl and sniff, but this crew is crafty. Rick tosses a sonic grenade that sends 2 dogs running in circles chasing phantom sounds. Evil Morty hotwires a speaker to emit a frequency that makes another robot pup explode itself trying to stop the noise. Morty nearly gets nabbed when a robo-dog catches his scent, but Beth creates a diversion by tossing her shoe across the corridor. The dog chases the sound, missing Morty by inches. After a tense 5 minutes, the buzzer mercifully sounds, "Time's up." Incredibly, all 8 players manage to survive the round, a few scrapes aside. Snowball is furious, but the guards call him and his cyber canines off. Morty exhales in relief, hugging Beth. They're alive, traumatized, but alive. Little do they know, the most heart-wrenching trial is coming up next. Round 5 is announced with a cruel twist of fate. Marbles. Each player must pick a partner, then one of each pair will die. Morty's heart drops into his stomach. He turns to his best bud, Mr. Poopy Butthole, who gives a nervous, "Ooh-wee, guess we're partners." Rick, unable to partner with Morty, the rules won't allow it, gets snapped up by Tammy, an alliance of necessity, neither happy about it. Evil Morty casually pairs with the only other person left, a jittery alien nobody. Good luck to that guy. Squanchy, odd man out due to an uneven number, is escorted aside by guards, automatically safe this round. The contestants are given their marbles and 30 minutes to compete. Morty and Mr. Poopy Butthole huddle in a quiet corner. They try playing odds and evens, hands shaking with each guess. Morty quickly falls behind. Mr. PB wins several marbles right off the bat because Morty can't bring himself to trick his friend. Across the yard, Rick and Tammy play a simple tossing game. Rick wins a few rounds easily. Tammy's still bleeding from Birdperson's stab retaliation earlier, so she's woozy. Meanwhile, Evil Morty has zero intention of playing fair. He challenges the nervous alien to a guess how many game, and then lies every time. The poor alien never stood a chance. Evil Morty snags all 10 of his marbles in minutes. A gunshot rings out as that alien is executed, and Evil Morty strolls away whistling, already a round winner. Back to Morty. He's down to his last marble. Mr. Poopy Butthole sees Morty's distraught face and makes a painful decision. "Morty, I had a good run." he says softly. He intentionally guesses Morty's final marble wrong, essentially handing victory to Morty. What are you doing? No! Morty cries, realizing his friend is sacrificing himself. Mr. PB just smiles through tears. It's okay, Morty. I love you, buddy. Ooh-wee. Bang! A guard's pistol goes off. Morty screams as Mr. Poopy Butthole crumples to the ground, a bullet in his chest. Morty scrambles to catch his friend, but it's too late. He sobs uncontrollably, holding Mr. PB's hand as it goes limp. Not far away, another gunshot. Rick stands stunned as Tammy collapses. Turns out Rick had won all the marbles. Tammy lost and paid the price. In the span of a minute, Morty loses his dearest friend and Rick loses their last frenemy. It's heartbreak on top of heartbreak. When the marbles game ends, the survivors are Rick, Morty, and Evil Morty, plus Squanchy, who sat out and automatically advances. 4 remain. Morty is shattered by grief. Rick is seething, fists clenched. Evil Morty just twirls a marble and smirks. The final round is up next, and it's going to be one for the ages. The last game is a brutal finish, a combination of the glass bridge and Squid Game's final duel. The 4 finalists step into an arena high above the ground, where a path of glass panels and ropes leads to the finish. Only 2 can truly win this round and advance to a final face-off. They draw numbers for order. Evil Morty gets the lead. Rick second, Morty third, Squanchy last. The race begins across the suspended bridge. Evil Morty confidently jumps to the first panel, safe. Rick follows to the next, Morty close behind. Squanchy, still boiling with anger, is last in line and growing impatient. Halfway across, Evil Morty pauses. The next pair of panels look identical. One will hold, one will break. Rick shouts, "Don't stop now!" But Evil Morty has a devious idea. He intentionally hesitates, forcing Rick and Morty to bunch up behind him on the previous panel. Squanchy's had enough. With a feral roar, he tries to leapfrog over Morty and Rick to take the lead. Bad move. 3 people on one glass panel is too many. Crack! The panel beneath them shatters. In a split-second reaction, Rick grabs Morty's arm and swings both of them onto a solid rope, just barely avoiding a fatal fall. Squanchy isn't so lucky. The wild Catman plunges into the abyss below with a fading scream, effectively squanching himself. Now only Rick, Morty, and Evil Morty remain, dangling from ropes. They scramble onto the final platform one by one, an uneasy trio. According to the rules, only 2 can move on, and Evil Morty knows exactly how to fix that. Morty's exhausted and shaking from nearly falling. Rick is injured from the broken glass shards, bleeding from his forehead, but still determined to protect his grandson. As they catch their breath on the platform, Evil Morty suddenly lunges at Morty and puts a laser saw, swiped from the bridge mechanism, to Morty's neck. Rick, step aside or he dies. Evil Morty hisses. Morty's eyes go wide with fear. Rick freezes. His one weak spot has always been Morty. Gritting his teeth, Rick drops his makeshift weapon and raises his hands. In that instant of hesitation, Evil Morty shoves Morty forward into Rick, sending both crashing down the platform staircase. Morty tumbles unconscious. Rick, disoriented, reaches for Morty instead of defending himself. Exactly what Evil Morty counted on. With a running start, Evil Morty slams into Rick and launches the older man off the platform's edge. Rick manages one last look of shocked pride. Leave it to a Morty to finally beat him before he disappears into the darkness below. Morty, dazed on the floor, can only watch as Evil Morty stands over him, victorious. The game officials promptly drag Morty away. He's out. The final confrontation won't be needed. Evil Morty effectively removed both rivals in one ruthless swoop. In the end, Evil Morty's ruthlessness proves unbeatable. Rick's genius and Morty's heart weren't enough, not against a Morty with 0 limits. Victory favors the utterly ruthless, and Evil Morty is living proof. Somewhere out there, you just know Rick is plotting revenge.